So yeah, thanks so much, Jake, for taking the time to fill out this application. I had a chance to take a look at it, and so I've just got a few follow up questions, and really just to kind of give you an overview of this call. It's to kind of get a sense of okay, what are your goals, and you answered some of this in the questionnaire, but what are your goals? Where you're at now? What's it going to take to bridge that gap and really put together a game plan? And then if I can help you, fantastic. If not, the chances are, I know someone who can, and I can at least make some introductions and add value in that way. Sound good?
Okay. Yeah, absolutely.
Love it. So, yeah, Jake, obviously I've got a pretty good sense of what you are and what you're about. And so it sounds like really the number one challenge that you're facing right now is driving new leads to your business. Is that correct?
Yes.
So tell me a little bit more about that. What are you currently doing to drive leads to your business?
Mostly it's the location is killer, so that's
Nice.
it definitely is the main thing. We get leads and just people walking by. But other than that, it would be referral type contests or things like that nature. But no paid ads. We've been fortunate to grow where we have with very minimal Facebook advertising.
That's
I've
great.
done a little bit here and there, but as I expressed, it's like I know the basics of it. I created a funnel or I've done some of those things, but I just don't want to do it.
Yeah.
I'm looking for somebody that I can partner with that can provide enough value that makes me say, yeah, it's worth it. I'll pay that to get that. You know what I mean? So
Yep.
that's kind of where I'm at. That's the last piece of the puzzle is just getting some quality paid ads out there to get some people in the door.
Love it. And so in terms of your existing lead flow, whether it's, people who just walk in through the door passing by or referrals, do you have any sort of like onboarding offers or specials or trials, anything like that?
Yeah, so the main thing we do is a 7-day complimentary week where they come in and try the classes for the week. That's the main thing we do. Whenever I've done ads in the past, we have done a little like $97 14-day jumpstart type thing where
Mm-hmm.
it's a paid entry to get in, advertise that through the funnel. One thing I didn't prefer about that method was that I did have to get on the phone, try to get these people on the phone, which number one is difficult, and then on the phone, get them into the door. And so I'm not opposed to that, at least at certain times of the year, to generate like a challenge to get more people in. But I also wanted to have more of a presence of just getting our name out there where it's not so I don't have to hop on the phone and call people.
Yeah.
But maybe that's completely crazy by me and I'll have to do that anyway.
Got it. Yeah, that makes sense. So you've currently got your 7-day trial, and then as a result of the trial, you have people sign up and stay on and become a monthly member or purchase that 10 pack or that
Yeah.
15 pack.
Yeah, basically they come in, check whether it be social media or in person for their 7-day trial. Within the 7-day trial, we have some emails that we reach out to them explaining more about our program and why we do what we do and why it's valuable, that sort of thing. And then while they're in the class, we'll speak to them about the program, help them understand what it is we do, so they're comparing apples to apples and not thinking that the other gym they tried is the same as this one. And that's kind of the sales funnel, is just by getting them in one time, two times, and hopefully a third time. If they can get them in three times during that trial week, they 9 times out of 10 gonna be a member. They'll buy into our memberships, which we have 3 levels of memberships on our website, depending on the frequency they want. So it's anywhere from $169 to $219 a month, in classes.
Love it. And that was, I think you might have answered it, but what is roughly your 7-day trial to paying member conversion rate?
I don't know that number. I need to go through in our system and see, because there's some people that come in and just they're friends of somebody and they're doing the free week, which we try to discourage that.
Yeah.
Some people from out of town, because they're not actually true leads. They're, jacking up the trial members, but not the qualified trial members. So
Right.
I need to see. I don't know. I can get that number, but it's pretty low.
Okay, cool. Got it. And are the majority of those leads, are they coming in then from, like, are they coming in person to sign up for the 7-day free trial, or how are they hearing about this?
So the 7-day trial, you have to sign up for it through your phone or the desktop.
Okay.
You just go to our website, and then on our website, on the reserve button, you click reserve, and then pick the first class that you want to sign up for. That'll start a 7-day trial. If somebody does come in off the street, now, yeah, I want to take this class, we still make them go through that process on their phone because it handles our e-waiver. So they
Oh,
can
smart.
limit
Okay.
liability type thing. So that's kind of the process there. So everybody signs up through the Mind Body widget on our site. How it flows.
Got it. Okay, that makes sense. And do you have, like, I mean, roughly speaking, in terms of number of people who sign up for the trial and number of people who actually show up, do you have any rough idea of what those numbers are, or not so much?
No, I can get those. I mean, they're all in our back office, but
Sure. Cool. That's fine. I'm just trying to get a holistic view of kind of this funnel. Okay, so that makes sense. So everyone who signs up for the trials does it through the website, and then they get some automated emails from you to get them to come in and actually use their trial. Do you ever speak to any of these people one on one over the phone?
No.
No. Okay, perfect. And okay, so
Nothing's on the phone.
love it. So that is the existing 7-day free trial. Let's talk a little bit about what you've done in the past with paid ads. So you mentioned that in the past you've run a 14-day sort of booster trial. Can you tell me a little bit more about that?
So that was it was either male or female, and it had the photo on Facebook, which then had a landing page, squeeze page that was built on ClickFunnels,
Yep.
and from there just gathered their information on the ClickFunnels page. We just had information on the program was and tutorial or not tutorials, but what's the word? We basically what's the word? Not tutorials.
Trial?
Uh, well, it was trial, but um, testimonials. Sorry,
Got it.
testimonials and stuff like that. And yeah, then we just collected their email, their phone number, and maybe one other piece of information. But they did have the option to purchase right there, which nobody ever did.
Sure.
Purchase the program through that website. But then what we would do is once we got their names, whether it be 15, 20, 30 names, call them all, try to get them on the phone. Once they're on the phone, of course, talk to them about the program, and ask them if see if they qualify for it based on their work, based on their goals, and then from there get them into the program per se. Of course, after they purchase it.
Got
And
it.
then after that, then hopefully during the 14 days, we've proven ourselves and proven the program. they want to stay for the next month or 2 months.
Got it. So it sounds like obviously the biggest bottleneck is getting them to show up in person. Once we get them to show up in person, it sounds like they're very likely to convert into a paying recurring customer.
Yeah, that's in my assessment of it. If we can get them in, especially for sessions, prove ourselves and why we're different than what they may have tried in the past and what they hated about the last gym in the past, and show them that difference, and I feel like the sale is much greater. Now, of course, if they buy that 14-day program, then they're committed financially for that short time period, 2 weeks.
Yep.
But I'm hoping, I think I'll maybe have to do both. One offer that's just merely showing the 7-day trial come in, which the conversion is good to the membership. That's one option for us, and the other could be where we have to get on the phone. It's just calling them and getting them on. It's tough to get them on, but it's worked. But
So I don't want to get too far into the weeds, but quick question on that point, because that is important for just kind of as we're planning out a strategy. Was your biggest objection to hopping on the phones with people, was it getting them on the phone or was it the actual conversations on the phone that you hated?
The conversation didn't bother me, but it's tough to, especially today, people just don't want to talk on the phone. Like, who's
Yeah.
calling me on this number I don't know? And even if you leave a message, it's just like, it was really difficult. I found, but I do text message too, and then I follow up with email. And, when you get some people on the phone, it just seemed like, but no, I mean, I'm comfortable talking on the phone about the program.
Okay, love that.
But also, that might work for this location, but as we scale and grow, is that talking to people on the phone to get them in for the trial that be the long term solution. Not that I need to do the long term solution today, but
Right.
I wanted to, what is the how does Soul Cycle and Orange Theory, or they're not calling up their members to get on the 7 day, but
Right.
they're well established. I get that.
Right.
That said, I kind of wanted to see what you had to offer and what you may have worked in the past beyond just calling leads that said, "Hey, call me for your."
Yeah, yeah, totally, and definitely happy to get into. I've got a couple ideas based on what I'm seeing. Definitely happy to get into that. Before we do, real quick, let's zoom out a little bit and speak to kind of some of those bigger long term goals. Like ultimately, what is your goal with this branch? And it sounds like you're looking to expand. So kind of talk me through that.
Sure. Yeah. Right now, give or take, we're around like 120 to 130 members, and I want to get up to around 175 to 185.
Mm-hmm.
So that's been growth for this one, which I think is more than attainable within the next 3 to 6 months, for sure. And but to see the success of this one has definitely been because of the location to my previous spot. I was a personal trainer, and I brought over a decent amount of business, so I had something already in the bills once we opened. But
Yep.
if I move up the road 30 minutes, I don't know a soul, I don't have a client, so I won't be able to have somebody on my side when it comes to marketing, where we can reach out to the neighborhood and these things in place, so I can sleep at night knowing, okay, I'm gonna have 50 trial members in the door, within the first 2 weeks. So the goal would be to fill this location and then move on to location 2 with strategies and the trial members.
Got it. So the goal is really to get another 50 members into your existing gym, primarily through, digital marketing. Use this gym as proof of concept, and then when you feel like, okay, we've got a pretty dialed funnel to where we're pretty confident we can acquire new customers at a profit, then take that to the next location.
Absolutely.
And is that next location, is your timeline for that next location, are you hoping to open that in the next 6 months? Are you hoping to open that this year? Or what does that timeline look like for you?
Um, it's tough to say, but sooner the better. But I think realistically, probably like 8 to 12 months.
Okay.
You know, but the thing that takes the longest is finding the spot. But once the spot is found, then it's go time. Like finding the right location. But yeah, I want to have at least be doing some serious looking and conversations about locations towards the second half of the year.
Yep. Okay. Got it. That makes sense. So 8 to 12 months timeline on that. Roughly speaking, is the number of gym members that you have, is that growing month over month? Is it pretty much plateaued? What does that look like?
It has grown. The revenue has grown every single month, besides maybe since we opened in February 17th.
Mm-hmm.
So we're just finishing 2 full years in business, and the membership base has grown every single month, although it has started to slow a little bit. But again, that's like not with any paid ads.
Right.
Um, I'm really confident in the product that we offer. It's just a matter of getting out in front of more people and getting a few more in the door. And I mean, there's definitely some tightening up of the sales flow and what we can do to ensure that the leads we have, maximizing them. I won't say that perfect.
Sure. And are you currently doing virtually all the sales yourself? Do you have salespeople
Yeah.
on staff or employees on staff who
No,
do
it's
sales, or?
myself and I have one other trainer.
Okay.
She doesn't do the sales. She helps answer questions to the trial members there, and tries to make them like her.
Sure.
Make the connection so that they want to buy from us, that sort of thing. But no, like all the, I mean, she'll make the sale, like literally put it in the iPad, but for the most part, like for the most part.
Yeah, that makes perfect sense. Okay, and in terms of leads, like roughly speaking, how many leads per month are you getting right now?
I think as on the high end, the trial folks would be 10. I'm thinking maybe around 10-ish.
Okay,
And on the low end would be around 2 to 4.
cool.
I can pull.
No, I don't need exact
I'm
numbers.
thinking,
So call it
yeah,
roughly 5 to 7 a month.
yeah, roughly. And I'm thinking that if we had closer to double that, there's obviously a point where like there's too many for one or two people to give a quality experience to.
Right.
But I'm thinking if we had between like 15 to 25 trial members, it would be like maybe one or two new people in each class, which is more than from a load standpoint. Trainer accommodate a newbie that doesn't know.
Got it. So 15 to 25 trial members per month is kind of what you're shooting for there.
Yeah, I would think so. I mean, we've had maybe up in that range once or twice throughout the time we've been open.
Yep. What caused that spike? Because I mean that's 3x your typical monthly trial
Sure.
numbers. What caused that spike?
Yeah, man, it's weird. Like one trial member, he brought like 4 of his friends during the same thing. So like they all 5 would come in at the same time during that 7-day trial. They were a little younger. I think they were like in their early 20s, so they might have been like these like class hopping type people.
Sure.
And I don't know if it's almost $200 a month to train here, so it's not the cheapest
Yep.
for somebody just starting out professionally. But so yeah, things like that could be. We'll have like a referral program where we'll bring people in. Like if you bring somebody in on a trial, you get X points towards some kind of. So it could have been like time of the year or just certain people in particular, bring their friends. But it's not necessarily anything that we did from an ad.
Got it. Okay, that makes sense. And so really, Jake, like, working with me, ideally what, if I could, if you could wave a magic wand and I'm the perfect marketing addition to your team that you're looking for, like, what does that look like for you? Obviously, running ads to acquire, 15 to 25 trial members per month and increase your monthly members to that 175, 185 mark, but anything else?
Well, I want to work with somebody that, we can obviously tighten up the sales process / funnel
Mm-hmm.
so that, all right, here's the drop off here, like to analyze that for me and say, like, all right, this is the issue. It might be the verbiage or the sales or what it might be. They're in the door. So we can kind of identify that, just kind of fix all the leaks, so to speak. I like to think I'm pretty comfortable with creation of things, whether it be like a actual photo or it could be a video. Like I can make all that stuff, and I feel like I'm ahead of the curve for most gym owners. So I feel like decent quality content or could create it. But if I would be open to your thoughts on like this is the offer that we should go for, types of ideas on what's been successful with this demographic, with this type of price point. That's kind of what I hope to have on board with you.
Got it. Makes perfect sense. And in terms of, your advertising budget, your marketing budget that you have for this, what does that look like?
For your services or for ad
spend? Both. Let's break them out roughly speaking. Ad spend to start with.
Okay. Well, ad spend, I would hope, like in the past, that the person that I was working, they did a decent job of basically making ad spend a wash. It didn't matter how much you spent. If you're selling 5 memberships on the back end, and you're less than that on the front end, it doesn't cost you a thing. So that, I have the pool of money that we can put into ad spend. I'm not sure how much we need to spend on it, but I've spent in the past anywhere from $1,000 to $2,000 for different campaigns. Of course, that's highly variable. I know that there's so many things that go into
for sure.
Now, for your for your services, it's kind of I don't want to. I know that there's value in what everybody does, and it's kind of hard for me to say, all right, you're like this guy, and his price is this and that. Like, why is it different? But I'll say this: I know I need to get to this point. I need to get a 50 membership position roughly, and if I feel like that you're going to take me there, and then I'm going to pay for it. Whether it's because if I need to find somebody to do this because I haven't done it myself. Analysis paralysis by analysis on my end. So I don't want to say my limit's X dollar, because you very well be worth that extra dollar depending on how fast.
Sure. Yeah. That makes perfect sense. And I'm not 100% sure what this is, gonna cost yet. Like, ultimately, I want to spend some time at the end to answer any questions that you have for me. And then in terms of next steps, what I'm going to do is put this together in a proposal for what I would recommend as the best next steps for you to proceed. There will be a quote there, which is my rate. And if that's a fit for you and it makes sense for your business, great, we can move forward. If not, I probably have some names of people who may be less expensive, also less experienced than me. I'm not cheap. But if you have, a marketing budget from an advertising perspective of a couple grand per month, obviously assuming that that's profitable, it seems like we're probably somewhere in the range where it's going to make sense for me to work with you. If you had a budget of, $100 a month or something like that, then there's just no way I'd be an ROI positive investment for you. So it just wouldn't make sense. But, you're at 20 grand monthly recurring. It sounds like. Yeah, I think that we're pretty much in the same ballpark there. So I really appreciate this overview, Jake. This all sounds really good. I think the biggest things, based on what I'm hearing, the biggest areas of opportunity are twofold. One is really tightening up the existing sales process that you and your employee have, and so really diving into that. Okay, taking a look at, here's the lead flow, here's the exact number of leads that we're getting every single month, here's how many of them are actually showing up to the free trials, here's how we can increase that number, and then also, implementing some simple scripts and processes so that you can increase the close rate on those number of trials. But then the biggest bottleneck is obviously increasing that top of funnel traffic to your gym. So increasing the number of essentially people who walk in your door, whether that's through a free trial offer, whether that's through a $97, 14-day jumpstart, whether it's through a $7 7-day free trial offer. That's kind of logistical details that we'll be able to figure out. But I think if we can increase the number of people who take you up on that and ultimately get them into your store, whether that's through booking appointments and chatting with them over the phone if they set an appointment ahead of time, so you're not following up with them, you're just hopping on a phone call with 2 or 3 people a day and getting them to come in that way, or whether it's to take a low front end payment to get them to commit to coming into your gym. We can test those and see which ultimately works best. But it seems like you've got a really great product, you've got a really great base of members. And I think with a few tweaks and some initiative around this, I think we can certainly hit that goal of getting you to 175, 185 members here in the next couple months. That certainly doesn't seem unrealistic to me.
Well, cool. I'm excited to hear what you have to offer and see how things go. Cool. Awesome. Well, thank you for your time, and I'll talk with you then.
Perfect, Jake. Have a great rest of your day and have a great week.
Thank you. Bye-bye.